I'll never forget the look on Brenda Dalton's face when she marched up my driveway that Tuesday afternoon clutching a wad of ripped paper in her manicured fists. Her face was flushed with righteous indignation, and she waved the torn scraps at me like evidence of some heinous crime. She ranted about visual pollution and how she'd taken it upon herself to clean up my windows for the good of the neighborhood. But when I told her exactly what she had just peeled off, her face drained from angry red to ghostly white in seconds. Those weren't decorative stickers or random advertisements. They were court-ordered legal postings required by the city of Pine Valley. The whole mess started when I inherited my late Uncle Jerry's duplex on Maple Grove Drive 3 months ago. The place needed serious work, new plumbing, updated electrical, and a complete kitchen renovation. ID pulled all the proper permits and jumped through every bureaucratic hoop the city required. As part of the process, Pine Valley mandates that bright orange permit stickers and inspection notices be displayed prominently on the front window of any property undergoing major renovations. These aren't suggestions. They're legal requirements, complete with case numbers, inspector signatures, and official city seals. Brenda Dalton, the self-appointed queen of our HOA and professional busybody, took immediate offense to these mandatory postings. She'd been the Maple Grove Homeowners Association president for 6 years running, mostly because nobody else wanted the job badly enough to challenge her reign of terror. Within days of the stickers going up, I found a passive-aggressive note tucked under my windshield wiper. The letterhead was official HOA stationery, but the message was pure Brenda. Your recent window displays are creating an eyesore that diminishes property values for the entire neighborhood. Please remove these unsightly adhesives immediately or face potential fines for curb appeal violations. I tried explaining the situation the next time we crossed paths at the mailbox cluster. I kept my tone friendly and professional, pointing out that these weren't decorative choices, they were legal requirements from the city. She listened with pursed lips and narrowed eyes, tapping her foot impatiently on the sidewalk. When I finished, she simply said, "Real homeowners find ways to comply with city regulations without turning their properties into billboard advertisements." She suggested I tape the notices inside my garage or somewhere less visible. When I explained that would violate the posting requirements and could result in work stoppage orders, she huffed and stormed off. For the next 2 weeks, Brenda escalated her campaign against my legally required window postings. She sent daily emails with subject lines like urgent aesthetic emergency and property value alert. She took photos of my house from various angles, circled the permit stickers in red marker, and slid the prints under my door. She even organized a special HOA meeting specifically to discuss what she called the sticker situation plaguing our street. Only 3 people showed up. 2 of them thought she was being ridiculous. But Brenda was nothing if not persistent. Then came that fateful Monday morning. I stepped outside with my coffee to check on the contractor's progress and immediately noticed something was wrong. The front window looked oddly bare. All 6 permit stickers and inspection notices gone. Not fallen off. Not partially peeled. Gone. As if they'd never existed. Only faint residue marks remained where the adhesive had been scraped away. My stomach dropped. The city inspector was scheduled to arrive that afternoon for a crucial structural assessment. Right on schedule, Inspector Davidson pulled up at 2 p. sharp. He took one look at the bare window and his expression hardened. He pulled out his tablet and started typing furiously. "Where are your required postings?" he asked, in a tone that suggested this wasn't going to end well. I tried explaining they'd been there just yesterday, that someone must have removed them, but he wasn't interested in excuses. No visible permits means no inspection. I'm issuing a stop work order effective immediately. Your contractors need to cease all activity until this is resolved. Panic set in. This could delay the renovation by weeks and cost thousands in contractor fees. Then I remembered the security camera. My uncle had installed it years ago. It was old, but it worked and had a perfect view of the front windows. I rushed inside and pulled up the footage from the previous night. There she was. Brenda Dalton, 11:43 p.m. Dressed in dark clothes like some suburban ninja, creeping across my lawn with a plastic scraper and a bottle of adhesive remover. The camera caught everything in surprisingly good detail. She methodically worked on each sticker, peeling them off with practiced precision and stuffing them into her oversized purse. She even sprayed the window with glass cleaner afterward, buffing away any trace of residue. The whole operation took less than 15 minutes. I immediately saved multiple copies of the footage. I sent one to Inspector Davidson with a detailed explanation. Then I forwarded another to my lawyer, Patricia Gwynn, who specializes in property law. Patricia called me within the hour, barely containing her excitement. "Do you realize what you have here?" she asked. "This isn't just HOA overreach. She tampered with official city documents. That's a criminal offense, potentially a Class A misdemeanor, with fines up to $5,000 and possible jail time." Inspector Davidson was equally appalled. He rescinded the stop work order immediately, reissued all permits, and promised a formal investigation into what he called malicious interference with official proceedings. By the next morning, fresh stickers were back on my window, even bigger and brighter than before. This time, I added my own touch, a laminated sign next to them that read, "Warning. These are legally required city postings. Tampering with official documents is a criminal offense punishable by fines and imprisonment. Premises under 24-hour video surveillance." Smile. You're on camera. Brenda's reaction was priceless. She was power-walking past with her 2 Pomeranians when she noticed the additions. She stopped so abruptly the dogs nearly yanked her over. Her face cycled through confusion, comprehension, and pure panic. She stared at the security camera for a full minute, then hurried away without her usual commentary. The next few days? Suspiciously quiet. No notes. No emails. No impromptu visits. But I knew Brenda. She was probably plotting. What she didn't know was that the city had already begun their investigation. Inspector Davidson filed a formal complaint. 2 detectives from the Pine Valley Police Department requested copies of the footage. They also discovered that 3 other properties in the neighborhood had experienced similar mysterious sticker disappearances over the past year. Then the hammer dropped. Friday afternoon, a process server knocked on Brenda's door with an official summons. She was being charged with 3 counts of tampering with government documents and 1 count of interfering with lawful inspection procedures. My lawyer also sent her a cease and desist letter warning of civil action if she continued harassing me about the postings. The look on her face when she was served? A mixture of shock and indignation. Like she couldn't believe her noble efforts to beautify the neighborhood could possibly be criminal. Word spread fast. At the next HOA meeting, usually a ghost town, over 40 neighbors showed up. One by one, they told stories. How Brenda made the Johnsons repaint their house 3 times because the beige was too yellow. How she forced Mrs. Patterson to remove her garden gnomes. How she tried to ban children's chalk art on driveways. Board member Ted Kowalski made a motion for a vote of no confidence in Brenda's leadership. Angela Morrison seconded it immediately. Brenda tried to object, but Ted had receipts, citing the exact bylaw that allowed for removal when a board member's actions brought disrepute to the association. The vote was held the following week. My security footage was exhibited. The local newspaper ran the story with the headline, "HOA President Faces Criminal Charges for Removing City Permits." On voting night, the community center was packed. Brenda sat at the head table, her usual smugness replaced with barely contained fury. She'd hired a lawyer who claimed she was just maintaining standards. But the evidence? Overwhelming. The final tally, 48 votes for removal, 2 against, 1 abstention. Brenda herself. But it didn't stop there. In court, her lawyer negotiated a plea deal. She pled no contest to 2 counts of tampering with government documents. The judge, clearly unimpressed with her arrogance, sentenced her to $4,500 in fines, 100 hours of community service helping others navigate the permitting process, 2 years of probation, any violation of her probation, up to 6 months in jail. The look on her face as the judge read the sentence? Unforgettable. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Her perfectly styled hair seemed to wilt. $4,500, she whispered to her lawyer. He just shrugged. The worst part for her? Weekends at the city permit office, helping the very people she tormented for years. As the bailiff explained her probation terms, including staying at least 100 feet away from any property displaying government notices, tears welled up in her eyes. Justice had been served. And for the first time in years, Maple Grove Drive finally felt like home.